At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Had some technical difficulties there. Opened up StreamYard, everything ready to go, and I could not pull myself on stage or add my screen. It was just going around in circles, and yeah, you gotta love it. 2025 and still trying to learn how to use StreamYard and do this properly. But we're back. That's all that matters. And kind of a shitty day in the market around the top 100 coins, couple altcoins here and there started to move. I saw Research Coin, one of our gems that we've been talking about, pumped up hard because why? The announcement it's getting listed on Coinbase. So who would have thought Brian Armstrong's own project that he developed and has a passion for was getting a base listing? So that's coming. That's what caused the pump. And Block V, I don't know what's causing that, but a utility gem. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're talking about PulseChain. We got a special guest in the building. My man Zach is here, and he is representing Pulseium in the ecosystem. And right now, it has been nothing but green candles and lots of rewards flying back to holders.
That's right. What's up, Vibra? How are you doing?
Good, man. How you been? You been busy now that these projects have been out for a couple days?
Yeah. You know, it's always busy, you know, when something's brand new. But also, like, I just drove up from South Florida to Chicago area because I'm like a contract worker. So I just got another contract to start working again at Ford. And yeah, but did a 12-hour shift today. So
yeah, I know you. So you say you're like, I got to do it early because I'm up at 4 a.m. I was like, damn, bro, that is that's dedication right there, and that's what I respect you for, because so many people will bitch and complain and put the blame on someone else, why they have problems, why they can't get better. They're on Twitter every day instead of getting up and going and grinding and busting your ass. And so few people do that, bro, and I really respect you for that.
The bull run only comes around once every 4 years, you know, like I'm literally trying to put it in as much money as I can into crypto, like until it's done, you know, like until we're phased out. So yeah, that's my plan. And then just save, you know, strong cryptos and stable coins through the bear market and, you know, reinvest, you know, when it's ready. And yeah, that's just the goal, you know, just stack my bread and throw it into crypto and get my bills paid off and all that stuff. So that's it. I got a bunch of goals that I want to accomplish, you know, in the next few years, and, you know, not just looking at the screen all day is not going to get me there. You know, even if the crypto goes up, you know, I still want to keep a job. You know, I don't want to like just stop working. You know, I feel like continuing to work and make money to invest in stuff is always a good thing.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It is. And it only comes around every so often, but the bear market can last. Look at this one. It lasted way longer than people could have thought. The people that were all in for the sacrifice, kind of expecting money to come, it didn't. And you got to be able to withstand that. And a lot of people won't, like you said earlier, get up and go work another job or get up at the crack of dawn. They'll sit on their ass, or they won't downgrade their standard of living. They won't cut out subscriptions. They won't stop buying that. They won't stop going out and eating, and they don't understand why they're still broke. It's like, no, you can't be spending money on that stuff. You got to cut it out. Stop getting Starbucks. Stop going and just spending money. And you don't even realize how much money you really waste until you sit down and actually look at it. And during the bear market, man, you're looking at every single dollar and ways to spend as little as possible, because you know how far a little bit can go in crypto. You know, $20-30 can bring you back $1,000 in the bull market. And unless you're going to the casino and hitting like a jackpot. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially like just being on PulseChain and having all these safe projects around us. I feel like personally, it's just stupid to hold any money in my bank. Like I really don't hold, like, I think I have like $150 in my bank right now.
Yeah.
Just because when I get it, I, pay my bills, get everything taken care of, and whatever I have left, that's just going in. Just because the time is essential right now, for sure.
Yeah, bro, keep money in the bank. Even like clients that I work with that are wealthier people, older guys that I met throughout my life, or just, we've done business with, they don't understand. They are so, I don't say programmed, but just so easy to think their money's there in the bank, that if something goes wrong, they, like Silicon Valley, Silvergate Bank, how many people lost money there? And they just assume it's safe. So to keep, more than 250K in a bank account, I think is just insane. And even 250,000, I think is insane. With stable coins now, you should be able to earn a yield or even put it into ETH. There's just so much passive income with DeFi and with crypto and the whole world being tokenized now. I think the floodgates are about to open up, and the legislation is happening. The Trump is so pro crypto. He wants to see stuff happen here. And I think we are in for fireworks, and we're just at that last hurdle almost.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we got Pulseium here now for the beginning of the bull run, right?
Yeah, and that's good. It's going to be interesting to see if Richard does the same thing as last time, where he waits, lets ETH run up, and then kind of gives us our own bull market while the rest of the market is bleeding, or are we going to start to pump with the market? Because so far it seems like we kind of have been lagging, but so has ETH. So
yeah, so I think personally, just in my opinion, I feel like I would let Pulse lag and let people who are like, oh my God, this shouldn't be happening, like, oh, Richard's a scammer, and then they leave, right? And like the people who are like, oh gosh, wow, like this is just a lag, right? We understand it's a lag, right? And we stay because we're the believers, right? So I hope that something like that happens, honestly, for my own sake, because I keep putting money in. So I want to last till 2027, right? But we'll see what happens.
yeah, Rowan, I was talking to one of my buddies earlier today, and I said, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, Richard just kind of disappeared and Hex and PulseChain kind of didn't do that well this cycle. And it was kind of like the 10-year plan that he always talked about with Bitcoin. That if you just buy and held for 10 years, you outperformed every single person. If you just buy and hold and forget about it, almost like he's foreshadowing what he wants to do to only reward his true believers. Where, like, I watched all his streams, all his early videos, and his message was always delay gratification and just put it away, and you never know what it can do. Look at what Bitcoin did. We never thought it could get to these numbers when it was $1, when I made the $30 top and watched it go back down to $1. Like, you just,
that rings in my head too, man. Like, me and you are on the same wavelength there. And it scares me a bit to think like that, right? And I feel like a lot of people don't want to think like that, because it's scary, right? Having to wait that long.
But that's why we have beautiful projects like PTGC and UFO, and now this Pulseium ecosystem, and people are starting to figure out how to create great projects to hopefully carry PulseChain forward without Richard, so he can say, look, while I was getting sued, while I did nothing, look how many people built projects. Look at the community that was still there without me. It didn't need me there.
Right.
And maybe that's something he needed to show, or needs to show. I don't know what it is, but I think, yeah, bro, he's never going to go anywhere. He's one of the richest people in crypto, and we have a cult-like following. Like, these communities don't exist outside of PulseChain, Hex, and maybe like the Bitcoin community.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've been on Solana. I've been in their telegrams and stuff like that. And those telegram rooms only exist for a good 7 days at the most, usually. And then they disappear. It's just gone. And then, yeah, the communities that are there, I guess, they have struggled to formulate what kind of, there are some people over there that are kind of like us too, right? And they're like, trying to build the communities and stuff like this, right? But it's just such a struggle when 90% of the people that are there are just buying, selling, and getting out of your thing in 2 minutes,
Bro, exactly. There is no loyalty over there. They will just pack up and leave and on to the next. And now it's the whole rift with Solana and the pump tires token. So we don't even need Solana anymore. Now we'll just go and trade our own tire or our own coin over here. So it's just like one layer of extraction after another. How far can we just keep running this thing? And I think, yeah, bro, I think it's going to be an institutional run cycle. Like we clearly see it's all about stable coins right now. You know, that's going to be what shoots the market cap of crypto from 4 trillion to 5 trillion to $10 trillion is the institutional money. And I think it's going to be more towards DeFi and the older coins that people thought were dead, but have actually been building in the background for the last 5-6 years.
Right. No, that's definitely true. I mean, like people are going to be able to on-ramp to crypto just from their bank app, you know, like banks are going to be having crypto connections, right? And it's going to happen through that person's Chase app or Bank of America app or whatever it may be. You know, they'll be able to trade Bitcoin or whatever they want to do, but I'm sure there's going to be a way to move your funds if you want. You know, obviously you can transfer money to people, you know, so you should be able to transfer that funds like you would on a hot wallet, any other DeFi wallet, basically. So I would just assume that, you know, transferring out, people would be able to easily just take their bank money into crypto and, you know, go where they want after that.
Yep. Bingo, bro. You nailed it. That's coming. That's what's been being built for the last couple of years, is that exact thing right there, where you'll be able to buy crypto from your bank. We'll be able to get crypto debit cards like crazy. We'll be able to just spend right out of our wallets, and the walls are starting to crumble right now. And bro, yeah, I'm super excited for it. And, you know, he's always been so forward thinking that I just can't imagine the stuff that he's working on right now. It's got to be private. I think privacy related and just stuff that is needed in this industry. Like I just look at right now, just the problem I see is with moving forward, we need some kind of digital ID where you only have one login that proves you're one human being, so we can get rid of the bot problem. We can start eliminating all that crap. And it's just, you're telling me Twitter and YouTube, they can't figure out the bots and the spam shit. It's like, come on, like they're allowing this stuff because they want to see the volume and give the illusion that all this stuff is happening. And I can't wait until privacy is here, because even for the institutions, I can't go watch what JP Morgan's doing in there and go see what the Biddle Fund is buying today and stuff like that. Like that needs to be done privately. And so I still think we're a couple of years away from everything really clicking in mainstream and like being able to send right now from Venmo to Stripe or from PayPal to Venmo. Right now, they're all on their own. But imagine a world where they're on the same rails, where it doesn't matter what app you're in, you could send to each other. Where, oh, you got Cash App, cool, I'll just send from Venmo.
Yeah. Well, but now we got stuff like Liberty Swap where you can take your Venmo or Cash App straight into PulseChain now.
Can you do it with? Oh, I didn't even know that, bro. Really?
Yeah, I think that's what's coming. I think they're connecting ZK-P2P, so you can on-ramp. Yeah, you can on-ramp through ZK-P2P and then use Liberty Swap. I think. I don't know if they're making that connection through their own site still, or if they're just telling people that, yeah, you can just on-ramp through here and then come to Liberty Swap. But I'm pretty sure they're like gonna fuse those together, like within their website, so that you can on-ramp with your Cash App or Venmo and straight into PulseChain.
So that is so cool. Well, yeah. that is an awesome feature that will get new people in instantly. Because already right now, I saw that they, from Arbitrum and a couple other places, they were doing millions of dollars already.
I couldn't believe it. Like what are they buying? You know, like I don't. Where's that money going?
Yeah, like, I know.
The price is going down,
right?
Yeah, that's funny.
Here it was right here. 10 out from Ethereum in the last 7 days. 1.46 million from Base, Airbnb. Total inflow 2.3 million, and a total outflow 458K. Yeah. But they didn't show the outflow to Ethereum though, so I wonder if ETH outflow was like 6.8 million.
Hey, you never know. You
But
never know.
no, this is awesome, bro. Like this is huge for PulseChain. We need easy access, easy moving from chain into here. Like, 'cause, yeah, if you're on Arbitrum or if you're on one of these other chains, you got to go to ETH and then go to the PulseChain. It's just not easy. People don't want to have to take that step. They want convenience, and they'll just say, "Hey, you know, bro, I'll come back to that. I'll take a look at it later, or I'll come back to it." And that's
Dude,
that's what I get.
imagine my struggle trying to onboard these like 50-year-old men at my work at the factory at Ford. Dude, it was like the hardest thing in the world. I got two guys, right? And it's like showing them like how to, I mean, got the wallet on their phones, showing them how to get to like the, like the browser part of the wallet. And then they got to like go to a website inside their wallet. Was like, their heads were exploding. They're just like, what's going on here? Like I'm trying to go to, they wanted to go to the internet browser, I'm like, no, you can't go there. Like we got to go inside the wallet and go through the wallet to do it and to connect your wallet. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I mean, they call me now every minute they have to do something on the wallet. So
Are they using MetaMask or internet money?
now I set them up with OKX.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
it shows all the PulseChain prices and stuff like that. And it was just easy for me to use.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then just bridging on the PulseChain bridge, but now we can do Liberty Swap. And yeah, I'm excited to tell more people about that and just see how easy it is for them to use.
Bro, it honestly, what's good too is the speed, because I couldn't tell you how many times I would walk them through, go to pulsechain.com, set it up right there. Okay, now go to the bridge, click the bridge button, go in, and then they would do it, and then they'd sit there and be like, wait, 96 confirmation, and then they'd be panicking. They'd be like, wait, so I gotta wait 40, how long? And it was just like, it started to cause anxiety. You could tell. And the longer it just sat there and was kind of just in limbo, people started to worry, and it's like, that was not a good experience. They're not going to go tell their friend, oh yeah, I just bridged over to PulseChain and I almost had a stroke and a heart attack in the 58 minutes it took to get over there. And then I had to go try to find it on the other side. I thought I lost it at first, and it's like, it's a nightmare. So to making this easier, thank you, Liberty Swap. And that's cool with the Cash App and Venmo, bro. We're making it one step. We're taking, the doors are coming down, one at a time, and this is exciting.
No, dude, for sure. Definitely. But yeah, let's get into Pulseium, and I can kind of give it a bit of an explainer.
Yeah. So yeah, let's hear about it. You want me to bring up the chart or the website?
Stay on the website for now, I guess. And yeah, just start by just letting people know, I guess, the idea behind Pulseium was basically to figure out a way to get the community together, right? People like to earn rewards. Everybody's got their own favorite core token, right? So basically the idea was that, you can kind of choose, the core token of your favor, basically. Buy and hold, create a community around, holders, basically. And then the next step was, the farms, right? So basically liquidity farms typically have like an incentivized token that gets spat out for people to, put their money in a liquidity pool together and stake it in the farm, right? And so one of the things that was seen as like a negative about farms in the past were things like, you got to connect your wallet and stake your tokens in the in the farm. And, the farm can get rugged. If you don't know who the dev is, they can take your tokens from you. Like what happened with Pulse Latina, that was a yield farm, right? Where people made LP with like their token and other tokens and core coins and all types of different projects, right? They included a bunch of different PulseChain projects in there, and they stole everybody's tokens, right? So that's what happened. That's what happens when you're in a yield farm that gets basically scammed. So this one, you're able to keep the liquidity pool tokens that you create in your own wallet, right? So basically you connect your wallet and it just checks your balance, right? And so that's just one aspect of safety that was looked into before launching this. Another thing is that so if you have a reward coin, right, and you want to put it in a liquidity pool, typically you don't earn rewards while that coin is sitting in LP. And with PRS, the previous project, that was the case, and this is kind of why they wanted to do some upgrades, because they found that after launching PRS and learning about how different things can work in crypto, after watching and experiencing everything on PulseChain, I'm sure we've all learned so much since being here. Even the experienced people are still learning things all the time. But yeah, there's just a whole lot more that can be offered basically to a crypto community, and having rewards for holders, rewards for liquidity providers, and then an extra reward, like an incentive for farming, right? That's like the third reward, right? And this third reward is another new thing for yield farms, right? Where the incentivized token that you're earning is also a reward token, right? So that IRS token that's being spat out for people farming is actually earning people ink. And the amount of ink that it's earning right now is not going to be a whole lot, because not all of the tokens are in existence currently. Not all of the, the liquidity is not as large as the other pools with the other tokens, just because of that fact that not all of the tokens are on the market yet, right? They have to be farmed, and it's set to farm for, I think, a period of 3 years from the beginning, and it's like on a set time schedules, right? So it spits out a certain amount, like per, I don't know if it's per block, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's basically how it works. So basically, this whole idea is to create a community of strong holders and liquidity providers that basically help grow the project by adding that liquidity, making it less volatile, making it so that arbitrage trades can come through the pairs and create volume, making it so that large whales can step in and get pieces of the project without having too much slippage. Basically, just this liquidity incentive and community getting behind that basically creates like a flywheel effect, where the liquidity is growing, the volume is growing, the rewards are growing, and people are noticing it more because of that fact.
Dude, that's cool, because that's one thing I know that kind of deters people from putting stuff into farms is if it is a tax token or a reward token, you stop earning it right away. So a lot of people buy these tokens because they like the passive income and the rewards they get just from holding a token. But if you throw it into a farm or a pool or something, it's not in your wallet, you're not going to get anything. The next step from that was, okay, now we'll remove the tax in and out. So you're not going to get your rewards, but you're not going to pay the tax going into the farms or whatever. And now this is kind of even one-upping it to where it's you're earning all of the rewards as if you were holding it liquid.
Yeah, so basically Pulseium earns you PulseChain, Blitz is going to earn you PulseX, Hexa will earn you Hex, IRS is going to earn ink. And you're on the farms page right now, which is good. You can see those APRs right there are very high.
Yeah.
Almost 1,000% over the course of a year. I mean, you can use that calculator right there. It'll basically show you your staked amount, like how much you have, and you can calculate that out over 1 year, 7 days, whatever. But just remember that number is based on the price of the IRS, right? So if the IRS price goes up, then it's more yield, obviously, that you're earning in terms of dollars. Yeah, so it's just a really cool system, and this website is so beautifully designed. Honestly, it impresses me just looking at it now. I wanted and use it. I'm just like, holy shit! This is just like the coolest thing that I've seen on PulseChain. I mean, I don't want to like try to toot our own horn or whatever, but I mean, this is just a really forward thinking. I think everything's just been thought of. I just don't think that anything is really lacking.
No, bro, people are going crazy about Hexa. I'm seeing it all over. Let's go. My buddies are becoming Hexa maxis,
right?
And this is great, bro. It's good for the whole ecosystem. And like for me, I have been anti-yield farms for a while. And I think it's for whales, not for the little guy. So my strategy is passive income. What coins can I buy that'll pay me to hold? And I've been looking for something to pay me PulseChain. Like there really isn't a great coin that pays consistent pulse. The OG Web Chef ecosystem was phenomenal for a little bit, but then that kind of died. And now we're this right here, like me getting 150,000 pulse in a couple in each of my two wallets. That's a lot, bro, for what I'm used to earning. So I was looking at it like, something, what the hell happened here? Did I swap something out, some dust or something? But no, it was the rewards from Pulseium.
So go to the calculator there, plug in like see like if you have like a $2,000 liquidity pool, how much would you be earning in like a 1 day or 7 day period? Let's see.
2007 day. But like when I use StreamYard, bro, now it's insane how slow everything gets. As soon as I hit go live, it's like my computer just stops working.
Just give it a sec. It should do something soon. Oh no. What did you click? Did you click 10,000 or something? Or what did you do?
No, I did 20,000 at first, and then I deleted the 0.
Oh, okay. So it's just kind of taking its time, really. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
there we go.
Okay. All right. Yeah, not bad. So if you have a $2,000 liquidity pool, so over the course of 7 days, you'd earn $265 in IRS. Not bad.
Bro, that's wild.
And you're also, but remember, so if you have HEXA and an LP and you're earning that, you're still earning the holder's rewards that's in your half of that LP with the HEXA, right? So that's the contract is checking your LP balances, you know, because the ratios change all the time, right? So if the price of HEXA goes up, you're going to have actually less HEXA in that wallet, so you will receive less HEXA rewards. There's a lot of like stuff to think about when you're liquidity farming. So yeah, there's just a lot of kind of game theory behind it. My whole perspective on it, though, honestly, is that I'm using a portion of my bag. I'm not like going to be liquidity farming with like all the coins that I'm holding, obviously, but using a good portion of it. And basically, as the coins go up in price, right, HEXA is going to go up higher than HEX, or go up faster than HEX because it has lower liquidity, right? So right now it's going up higher than HEX, obviously, or faster. But eventually HEX is going to catch up, right? So HEX is going to have its day when it's going to pump like crazy, right? And so I'm going to love that, right? That's going to be great for me because the value of HEX is going to go up, it's going to pump, and it's going to increase the value of our liquidity pools, right? But it's also going to change the ratios a bit. So but right now HEXA is going up versus HEX, then it's going to kind of come down versus HEX. And then, you know, there's going to be dips on HEX too, right? And then during those dips, maybe people are rotating into Pulseium ecosystem or whatever it may be, because we're going to still be here, right? We're going to, community still providing liquidity and all these things. And basically, it's just going to create like another flywheel effect of liquidity fees and rewards and volume and all these types of things. When HEX has its day, more people come to the chain and all these things happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, definitely. I'm just looking at these right now because I hold multiple. I got the airdrop of PSM. I bought Blitz and Hexa. I didn't get IRS. So I'm holding a lot of HEX. I'm holding PulseX. I'm holding Ink. So I'm now really starting to question why the hell I'm not in these farms for at least a week or two when it's this juicy.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is like I got a HEX. I have LPs in pretty much all of them except for a lot of the IRS ones. But what I do is I take like my daily IRS, I harvest it, and I basically throw it into one of the IRS / either PSM or HEXA LPs. And so I'm just going to try to keep on building up that liquidity pool with one of the Pulseium ecosystem tokens. Yeah, and that's just gonna keep stacking my rewards because those two tokens, right, whatever it is, Pulseium or HEXA, whatever, and versus IRS, all those tokens are both rewarding tokens, and that LP is going to reward me as if I'm still holding them in my wallet.
Yeah. So look, IRS. I mean, the chart, yeah, it's up 20% in the last $5 million market cap. So yeah, the chart, it looks good. Yeah. I mean,
I was nervous about IRS because it started with very little liquidity. It still has a lot lower than everything else, but it started very low, and I was nervous that like people are going to farm and just dump it, and just like it looked like any other yield farm token, right? Like there's a few others on PulseChain we could name that just are obliterated. But yeah, it seems like the whole idea behind the IRS token is is a success. People are buying it off the market. They're not just farming it, and like 80% of the tokens have yet to even be farmed. So yeah, it's just great to see.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess so over the long run it might slow down compared to the other ones, but that's all right. It's supposed to kind of it's the reward token, but at the same time, people, if ink starts to really fly, because a lot of people are speculating that ink will be the best performer out of the core coins, and if that happens and ink becomes more valuable, now the reflections into ink, you start thinking, do I want to sell this?
Yeah, I mean, eventually the IRS coin is going to become a legit reward coin that people are going to want to buy, because like it's going to be giving, good rewards like Pulseium or anything else. It just doesn't have like the volume like the other coins do yet, because of the low liquidity, and it's just not, it's not as out there right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a lot of potential here behind all these coins, and I mean, like the market caps are fairly low still. I mean, in terms of where you could see things going, I have a lot of respect for the guys at PTGC. I mean, they held on to this and made that ticker go to the freaking moon. I mean, I got to tip my hat to those guys. And if we as a group of people have anything to aspire to, I mean, that would definitely be it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. They've laid the blueprint right there, and it can be done. We've seen a lot of projects that have done very well in modeling that. And I think the right people too are behind this, and that's just as important. You could have fundamentally the greatest project, but if no one's talking about it, no one knew was getting in, it can only go so far. But I see a lot of my friends like it. When Goo God's now a Hexa Maxi, that's no good. But hey, I think we'll live.
Yeah. I see some friends in the chat. I see OX Hums. He's in here. What's up, Hums? Altcoin Chef says PSM is pumping out PLS. That is true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, today's a good day for PSM for sure. And also, yeah, so I want to give a bullish announcement. So just some hours ago, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the developer had posted on X and announced that they did a very large burn. Right, so basically they were using a lot of their supply to farm the IRS token, and that was basically taking away yield from everybody else, right? Because their bags were quite large, right? And so now what they did is they've farmed enough of the IRS token that they feel comfortable, letting it kind of flourish as it is. They've removed their farms. Liquidity is still there, but they burn the liquidity, so they don't have access to those tokens anymore. There's not going to be any rewards going to them for holding those tokens anymore, which means more rewards for the Pulseium ecosystem holders, more yield for the farmers. So yeah, that is a really cool thing. And also the dev farmed a bunch of the IRS token, so they could, no expectations, but they could do something with that later on. Whether that be, I'm not going to even say anything. There's a bunch of different things that could happen. So I'll just leave it at that.
Any suggestions on slippage when supplying LP having issues?
Any suggestions on slippage? So basically you want to set your slippage to like 6%, 5.5. The tax is 5%. So you want to put it at least 0.5 above that.
It is weird, bro, because I noticed I have PRS or Pulse PSM in a couple wallets, and in one of them, because I wanted to get some Blitz too in each wallet, so I bought Blitz in both wallets, and one of them I bought at 5%, and the other one I had to do at 5.5%. In the same PulseX, MyClink, Pinata Cloud, same everything, and it was a different slippage for the same coin. So but we all have issues with PulseX and PulseChain right now. It's clunky with these tax tokens.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So somebody I see in the chat said, "What happened to PRS, Zach?" So I guess this person just didn't know that there was a migration. Pulseium is basically the birth child of PRS. There was about 2 months to send in your PRS tokens to the dev. Basically, the dev sold all the tokens that were given to them, and that money was transferred and used as the initial liquidity for this ecosystem, right? And so anybody that sent in tokens, whether it be the PRS or the BTR, which was the booster token before, those holders who migrated their tokens were able to receive an airdrop, right? And so the tokens in the ecosystem that had an airdrop were the PSM and the Blitz token, right? So Pulseium and Blitz. Some holders from PRS and BTR got airdrops of those, right? And not everybody did, right? So a lot of people did not know to migrate. They had no idea because they may have bought PRS a long time ago and thought it was dead and just forgot about it. So whatever the fact may be, we tried to announce it to everybody and with a lot of time ahead of time. And, it is what it is. But yeah, that's what happened to PRS. The dev sold it down after, we basically realized that there's a lot more that could have been done with PRS from the beginning. It did launch within the first 2 or 3 weeks of PulseChain launching. So it was the very first reward token on PulseChain that rewarded PLS, not just itself. So that's what happened. It was a thing where the token kind of fizzled out after it went up. It went to 6 million market cap from nothing. Like literally started with like 2K in the LP to like 5K market cap, and it went up to 6 million. And that was right around when PTGC launched, RFX, other reward coins, things were happening with PDI. It was just everything was going crazy, right? And just the dev never sold, me and my friends, we never sold our tokens at the top. I was still buying those tops at 6 million, So like I was putting like my reward money back into it the whole way up. Anyways, it is what it is. And it was a good run. It made a lot of people money. People got really bullish on it. And, other projects grew from that, right? People used PRS and created their own ideas for things, so it was good. And I think Pulseium is going to do the same thing.
Yeah. And, BB, I almost missed the migration, and I pay attention to stuff, and it just kind of fell through the cracks because I was into PRS. We all were years ago. Zach was on talking about it when it was doing real well in that initial PDI summer. So I kind of saw that the volume was fading, and I sold my bag, not at the top, but kind of on the way down, but in pretty good profit. And maybe like 6 months ago, it had bottomed out, and I was just like, oh my God, 1 million Pulse gets me, I don't know, whatever, maybe like 3.7 billion PRS. So I just bought like 1 million Pulse in a couple wallets worth just to have, because I figured, you know what, it's going to pump hard at some point. And I literally messaged Zach with maybe a week to 2 to go, and got the website and everything. And luckily I migrated my tokens over, but I'm sure, it sucks if you did miss it, but I bought into Blitz and HEXA. So did you say that there was any other airdrops if you sent your PSM in?
HEXA did not, it's the only token that did not receive an airdrop. Neither did IRS. So people got Blitz, people got PSM. So that might have a little bit of sell pressure at the beginning, just from people like, oh, okay, our tokens went up in price, let's get out now or whatever. If they didn't believe in what the dev was going to do or whatever. But I'll just say this, the people that received those airdrops, those are the most diamond-handed holders that are in existence. Okay, there's guys that bought PRS in the first month that it launched, watched it go all the way from nothing to 6 million and all the way back down to nothing, and they held the entire time. And they were excited to get into this new ecosystem, and they're still excited, and even more so now. It's crazy the people that PulseChain brought together. Really, we have some of the strongest holders out of any crypto, I feel like.
So what did you have to do to get the Blitz airdrop?
You had to send in booster.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, there was a token launch called Booster back in like mid-November. or something, you know, as PRS was kind of going down a bit, they felt that like, oh, like let's launch this thing, it'll auto LP with PRS and it'll kind of help build the liquidity and, you know, more arbitrage. But yeah, no, I just didn't do well because PRS was already on the way down. PGGC was just rocketing, you know, everybody was so hyped on that. And that's just it is what it is. It happens in crypto, you know.
Yeah, the deadline was July 18th, unfortunately, for the migration. So no, but I think it's still trading, the old one.
Those liquidity pools are burned forever, right? So like I think there's still like 6K, 7K in LP for PRS.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll just trade forever. And, you know, the people that are still left over, those are all the people that forgot about it. So honestly, somebody could community take over it pretty quickly. And it does work. The contract works. I mean, you'll earn PLS. It's like, not like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't, if people create other LPs, that was a problem. So if people create other LPs, there's no tax on the other LPs. So people that are holding the PRS could sell and not be taxed. Or people buying it could not be taxed, and that doesn't benefit anybody, you know.
Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, it was the first thing on PulseChain. I remember it back a couple of years ago, had its run, but yeah, PTGC and UFO and just so many other competitors to them kind of stole the thunder, and you know that this was kind of at a perfect timing, bro. It kind of came up when no one was really paying attention, and now a lot of people are talking about it, and you know, we'll see where this thing can go. You know, it's clearly the contract is much better. Just the volume alone right now between all the different pairs is substantially higher than it was with PRS. I mean, I was looking at a couple of days, I was like, man, we're doing $74 in volume today. That's all right. You know, 2 more weeks we'll be back. And
yeah. Right. But yeah, man, people are excited about it. And I think people understand that, like, you know, this dev was super serious before. You know, they did want to take PRS very seriously. And now, like, this is like the evolution, right? This is just the next step in that evolution process and, you know, learning from past mistakes. And, you know, yeah, now it's just like, you know, bringing the community back to what it was and growing on top of that.
Yeah. And bro, like, I love it, bro. Like I said, passive income, that's my strategy on PulseChain. Is my portfolio is coins like PTGC, like UFO, you know, like Alien, like King, like Enki, like Pulseium, like Blitz, that are constantly paying me back rewards. And I didn't have anything that was really paying me Pulse. You know, there was some stuff that was here and there that would come and go, but nothing consistent that I wanted to buy. And you know, that's why I bought back into PRS, whatever at the bottom, the little bit I did just to have some, and knew I was collecting a little bit of Pulse. But the amount that I'm getting now, bro, like I've been telling everybody.
It's nice. It is nice. And, you know, I'm just glad to see everybody really happy and enjoying it. Honestly, and that's one thing that's special about PulseChain in general is like, you'll never see tax and reward coins like this do well on any other blockchain. Nowhere.
No.
Will it be like this? And like, this is something that I feel like we need to embrace, really, because like this just proves a point that like the holders are here, like our diamond hands are real. And like that's, I mean, PulseChain is just so special because of that fact, honestly.
Bro, the PRS community is literally the OG diamond handed community. Like the OG. Like there was the first coin that was actually like degened into on PulseChain, I think.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Besides like memes and stuff, you know, it doesn't. PRS never really had a meme. It was just had a good looking website and a nice branding.
Yeah.
But it worked. You know, it worked, and it paid people a lot of Pulse. I mean, there was billions of Pulse paid out in that, and I think, it's paying out a lot now. And I think we crossed over 1 billion Pulse in the liquidity pool with Pulseium. All those liquidity pools are building up super nicely. If you go and look at let's take a look at the ratios actually. So if you take a look at the liquidity on like PSM to Pulse or Hexa to Hex or Blitz to PulseX, you'll notice that like they're all like 30% or better liquidity to market cap ratio.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's such a huge thing because that means like, you know, if the token gets real big and like some of the holders, whatever, have a ton of money, right? What happens when they want to take, half of their money in profit or whatever? If somebody wants to sell $100,000 worth at a certain point, when 100x from now or 10x from now or whatever it may be, you want to make sure that like there's enough there to basically keep it alive, and doesn't really like drain you if a few people decide to exit.
Yeah, Blitz is the one. 91K with a 228 market cap.
That's the baddest one, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're like this. It makes crypto so easy when you have a reflection coin like this that you can just get into early and just hold on to it for a while and just let your rewards stack and stack. And when PulseChain starts to do its thing, you don't even need to touch the principal or whatever you bought. Say you throw a couple $100 into Blitz, you put $100 into each one. I'm pretty sure that in 6 months from now, the rewards you'll get from those two, you'll be able to sell back for $200.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you can buy it with money that you don't really care about, right? And then you can watch the rewards come in. And then like, as that's happening, oh, wow, now the value of that $100 whatever you put in has just 10x. So now that value is $1,000, and now you're earning the yield on or the rewards from having $1,000 in the ecosystem. And yeah, it just, there's a lot of good that could come from it with just a little bit.
Yeah, bro. And if we can stay, I really think, bro, the 4-year cycles are over. I think now that the institutions are here, the last thing they want to see is insane volatility. You don't want high net worth individuals coming in and having the charts ping pong and go up and down. Like, they don't want to see that. They want to see kind of steadier, more relaxed growth, I think. And I would love to see us kind of just slowly go up and to the right for the next couple of years. I think we're going to run into 2026, and then I think March, end of Q1, Q2, 2026, we'll see a nasty hiccup, and then I think we're going to keep going until 2028. We're going to just see an epic bull run, and if that happens, bro, oh man, I can't wait. I think people are so traumatized from the degenning, the pump dot tires, just all the rug pulls everywhere, that they are just so ready to get out in September, October this year. They can't wait to make that money and leave. And I have a feeling that that's going to be the biggest mistake, is leaving early at the end of this one, because we just went how many months in this bear market? I mean, this is the longest we've ever seen. So how unless we just go straight up to just parabolic and everything just blows off top, yeah, man, it will probably be over. But if we just kind of still start running, I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like we have 2 years to run.
Yeah, I feel like Richie's got to just stair step us there. Don't fucking pump it like crazy, because people will just be like, boom, I'm gone. They'll take
Exactly.
Like, stair step us there, make people worried, like let ETH pump, like let people watch ETH go up a lot, we're just still like stair climbing, I think that would be good.
Yeah, bro. The last thing he's gonna do is these assholes that have held the chain hostage with these 30-day rolling stakes and forcing him to cut the ink rewards down 90%. There's no way he's gonna just pump the chain and enrich these assholes that are not taking advantage. They're controlling PulseChain. They're doing what they can do to, big bank take little bank. That's how it works. But I just don't see Richard enriching these people. He wants to shake them out, I believe, or like you said, stair step it up so where they can't just grab it and run.
Yeah, he wants them to regret like not buying Ethereum instead. Oh, like I could have made all this money so already. Like if I would have just bought ETH. So they just they go get something else.
Yeah. Well, like, where do you think he's going to go this cycle?
Over 10K for sure. I'm pretty confident in that, I would say. But I would say if I want to be bullish about it, probably like 15K.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that it still has legs to do it, and I mean, it's obviously not as heavy as Bitcoin. A lot of Bitcoin can rotate in, right? So it depends on that level. I think the level of how much money from Bitcoin rotates into Ethereum like directly is gonna be like how much it pumps, and then as long as the banks and everybody get everybody on board this bull run, and they don't like make people wait until next bull run, or like or in the middle of the bear market, you know, like they make people get in during the bear market and like they all buy like the going down bags, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It just depends on the timing for that and stuff. But I think that for sure, like 12K probably. I mean, 10 is probably too conservative, I would say. Because I mean, it's definitely triple from now, I would say.
I know, bro. It sounds crazy when you say it, but then when you think about it, you're like, dude, you know what? That might even go higher, because just watching what Bitcoin just did.
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin's going to do a nice 10x. So if Bitcoin does a 10x, each should do a 20x. So what was a low? Like 900 or something. So what's that, 18K?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like maybe 15 is like low. So yeah, 12 to 15 to 18 maybe, yeah.
And I think that you're right with the migration out of Bitcoin, because why hold Bitcoin in an ETF when the ETF has the yield? Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Like that 4% for Wall Street or for high net worth individuals, that's the game changer right there.
Right. Ethereum is going to hit like a certain market cap. I don't know what that would be, but something's going to like click in these Bitcoin big money investors' heads. Like, oh, that was actually the new Bitcoin, you know, and then they're like, okay, I got to go get that one now, you know.
Bro, I really don't even think the big Bitcoin investors are really there. I think it's Michael Saylor and BlackRock buying it all up, and they're working with BlackRock is obviously part of the U.S. government. Right. BlackRock controls the economy in ways the Fed can't. Between the two of them, they control everything. And you have Michael Saylor, who, I would bet my life, is a CIA agent.
You want to hear
CIA asset?
Crazy speculative theory.
What's that?
You want to hear a crazy speculative theory?
Yeah.
That like, so that like, Ethereum's like been taken over already and is completely compromised by BlackRock and all the corporations in USA,
Wall Street,
Wall Street and everybody, and that like the cypherpunks of Ethereum like got together and decided to like give it to Richard Hart, like passing the torch to allow PulseChain to be like the place where DeFi can truly exist.
Dude, that'd be great, bro, because I was having that conversation with someone in my DMs today, and he was worried about the future where, you know, I'm holding these blue chip cryptos like Stellar and XRP and PulseChain, but because I'm holding them in self custody, I'm not going to be able to access Bank of America's platform or whatever over there. They're going to put up a barrier, but it's the polar opposite. They want all that shit. They're building out the infrastructure so we can come connect our wallets right in and start
CBDCs, right? It's literally
not that, but their products, the stuff they offer. Where come drop your ETH into this product here, and you'll earn 2% a month on it or whatever. So they just want your ETH because they can take it and make 12% a month on it and give you 2%. But they're going to start offering ways and offering yield on these assets, and all the like. There's going to be a giant blend of DeFi. Like ETH is ETH, whether it's bridged over to PulseChain and then brought back over and sent to Bank of America. It doesn't matter. Like I just worry about with like if you with like stable coins, if your wallet transacted with an illegal coin, say like you took a trip down to, I don't know, the Virgin Islands or something, or Jamaica, and you went down there and you swapped into Tether to buy some weed from a guy on the beach or something, and you went home or whatever, and then a year later you go to take a mortgage out or you want to loan against your crypto, and they look at your wallet and they say, holy shit, you interacted with Tether, which is blacklisted. So your wallet, you're not allowed to work with us, or your wallet is no longer good here. Like, that's what I fear.
Yeah, that's why PulseChain is super important.
Yep,
I think that, like, the cypherpunk movement is still around. It's just like those people are like now older and they're quieter, but I feel like they're still there. And like I know that I feel like they know that they got to know that they're being taken over, right? Like they have to know that that's happening and see that it's happening. And I think that, I mean, the cypherpunks are completely against that type of stuff, you know, and would not stand for it. And they would probably do some kind of backdoor thing where, like, look at PDI, bro. I mean, I don't want to be a crazy speculator, but like I do believe in PDI, and I believe in the reason why it could be a big thing. And that's because like true decentralization needs to exist. They can't touch the place where they can't touch your money and freeze you for anything that they want, you know?
Yeah, bro, 100%. PDI, it's like the most important thing, and that's why when it kind of died allegedly and the FUD came out, I was just so disappointed, man. Not because the price was crashing, but because the opportunity looked like it was fading. Where this was the most important thing that could have came to PulseChain, a true decentralized stablecoin. Once the herd realizes USDC, RLUSD, Tether, Paxos, Gemini, PayPal USD, those are the CBDCs. They're going to look around and say, oh, shit, and realize, oh, PDI and PulseChain. But that's where Richard has enough wealth in ETH and Bitcoin where he can sustain his own PDI, his own stablecoin over here. Only if it's only redeemable on PulseChain, doesn't matter. We can swap it to wrapped ETH or something over and then bridge it out. Like as long as Richard can back the I should stop. I got not Richard. As long as whoever is behind PDI, the code behind it can figure out how to back it properly with assets on PulseChain, we are that dream of DeFi being able to thrive.
Right. Yeah, no, I do believe in that whole ethos. And I was so sad, like you were, just to see when that all happened. I was like, oh my God, I was not even about the money, really. It's just like, that was such a big deal. And I think it still is, right? So that's still the dream. And I do think that it can happen one day, honestly. Like there's got to be a way. I do believe that for sure. But that's a whole other thing. And honestly, I'm just so happy to be here on PulseChain, man. This is definitely the place that people don't know how good it is here, you know?
Bro, dude, 100%. And like you, Alan, bro, Alan's such a smart dude. Or is a real estate broker. He busts his ass. Like he didn't grow up with a silver spoon. Like some of his stories growing up are fucking crazy. And he's another one that instead of bitching and complaining, will get up at 4 a.m. and go to work, just like you. And there's so many people like that here in PulseChain, bro. And just meeting everyone, and especially the bear market brings out people's true colors. So a lot of people kind of disappeared, and you got to see Jim Rat go freaking crazy. How do you stream and obsess about Richard Hart so hard for a year? I streamed 800 days straight about Richard Hart, and now you hate him and he's the worst guy ever. It's like, what? Like, what? So this shit makes people crazy, but there are good people here.
Yeah, honestly, it keeps us entertained. Honestly, I love it.
It does. It does, bro. It does. It really puts stuff into perspective. It's like, all right, well, I think I'm going crazy. Like, okay, maybe I'm just a little bit ahead and they'll understand it, but that's what going crazy looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, anyways, like, I don't know if I forgot anything about Pulseium, anything I could add or not, but I don't know if I can think of anything right now. Just like, if you're a strong holder, come join us. You know, like if you want to join the community that likes to, you know, earn rewards, and as we're all super bullish on PulseChain, I mean, this is just the place to be, and we're not going anywhere. I think Pulseium is going to last a really long time. At 3 years to release all the IRS tokens. Don't sell your IRS because it earns you ink, and there could be something bullish in the future that comes from the IRS token because the dev has a lot of it.
Interesting. Bro, I love how these stats are always are here. I was looking at that earlier today, how just constantly it's like
he's been
paid
really
out.
active.
Yeah.
Posting a lot.
Yeah, bro, that's good. And like it's all about, bro, like that's one thing that I realized, like when I was new and when I came in, I was very I would follow certain people and whatever they were doing. Like I was just like, okay, that's what I got to do too. So when the right people are behind a project, it really goes a long way, especially when we've all been here this entire bear market. Like all, you know, we're all still the same people. Nothing's changed. It's, you know, trying to save people, get them in, hodling the right projects, get in early, and hold. And here's another phenomenal opportunity, like the hundreds we've talked about on this channel, where you can come in, get in early and hold, whether it's a year, 3 years, or 5 years. Like the gains will come, and each coin it's going to be different. But the more quality projects you get into early and you just hold, good things will happen to you.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter which one you get. I mean, you can try to split it up into all of them. That's what I do. If you just like one, that's great. But you know, when one core coin pumps, it's going to pump one of the coins, and then you know, PulseX may pump one day, Hex may pump one day. They're all going to have their day. They're all super tied to in liquidity to these core coins, and that liquidity is automatically building up all the time, right? There's that 1% of the tax that's automatically going into burning liquidity for the token. So that's going to generate forever.
Good stuff, bro. I love it. It's another great project, and like I said, it's all about community, who's talking about it. And when people see something for the first time, you would say, oh, that person that pushing it, you feel some way about them right away. It's either like, oh, that's a good person, or oh, stay away from anything that person chills.
Yeah, I feel like people are like 50-50 on me on Twitter, honestly.
No, I don't know, bro. I don't think so. I mean, like all the PDI and Atropa stuff, it's all coming back now. So
yeah, I get a lot of in the comments, you know.
Yeah, but you look like a genius for a year and a half, and with when everything's pumping PTGC, and then when the FUD comes out, you know, you're the worst person. You're a scammer. See, I told you you were wrong, and now it PDI's up 25x off the bottom, and we look like geniuses again.
Yeah, exactly. But we're just lucky.
Exactly. That's crypto, and that as like zooming out as a whole, that's the experience you're going to go through, you know, from PDI when it was, you know, a complete speculation to, man, who could be behind this, to Maria started coming out, to Maria was a fudder, to Richard Hart was behind it, to he killed it. Like it was just nonstop craziness. But if we look back at the chart in a couple of years, you'll forget about all that. And the people that just bought it and just closed everything down and just held, they're the ones that win.
Yeah, I mean, Steven Spielberg couldn't write a movie better than this.
No, dude, I got fudded out, and I was on stream, and I said, "Look, guys, like this doesn't look good right now." But what I'm doing and what you have to do is find a number that you're comfortable with, saying, "Okay, if I hold this amount of PDI and it goes to 0, I'm okay with it." And that amount, if it goes to $1, I'm good that I still have some. And that's going to be a different amount for every person. And for me, it was a couple 100,000, to where I was like, all right, if this goes to 0, great. If it goes to $1, awesome. Right. And everyone you had to find that number, and then you could sleep at night knowing, all right, I hedged, and if it comes back, cool. And luckily it did. And the world's greatest PDI printer came out, and I bought a couple of those, and after a couple months, I'm back to almost 500,000 now. So,
hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's what's up, man. Really. And honestly, I got flooded out too, man. Like, yeah, I sold my bag, and then I bought it back for lower, which I'm glad I got a little more. but yeah, dude, I was freaked out. But I like immediately, I was like, what did I do? What did I do? I was like, oh, gotta go buy it back. Like, what did I do? You know. But it was so scary, bro. Really, it was nuts. Yeah, I hope that never happens again, really. I don't know if I can take it again.
But Steven, you're a legend, bro. I'll admit it. It's the 12-hour difference. When I'm waking up early in the morning, your streams are one of the only lives. So I'd say about once every week or two, Steven's beautiful voice is on in my room as I'm waking up. So shout out to Steven.
My boy.
Yeah, he's the man. Well, all right, well, good stuff, man. Well, I think we covered almost everything. I mean, everyone that watches me, we all know what tax tokens and stuff are, but it's something new that just launched. And when new stuff comes out, smaller market caps with some new different concepts that we haven't seen before, people People like that stuff. And like I said, we got some good, the verse has been going crazy about it. Goo God is now a Hexa Maxi. Alan got himself a bag. So there's the right people that are in this. I can tell you've been passionate about PRS for years, and now it's migrated to Pulseium. So I'm excited for you, bro.
That's right, man. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a fantastic year. So, guys, if you're not following Zach, his information is down below. Definitely give him a follow. Follow Pulseium on Twitter. Join the Telegram. And if you don't own a bag, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, I would say Blitz is low market cap right now. I'm going to probably go buy some more of that later, honestly.
There we go. All right, guys. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.
At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.